Here we are at Arches National Park. You can't tell we're excited, can you? We got to the entrance gate at 8 a.m. thinking we were early, only to find a very long line. But what really amazed me was watching the cars going up the side of the mountain. Hey, nobody told me about this part. I was happy to see, though, that as we went up, it wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. Rick and I just kept saying, wow, look at that. Oh my, look at that. We weren't even into the park that far yet. What you're looking at is that line that we sat in to get into the entrance of the park. We decided for tomorrow we will be here much earlier. I did clean the windshield the next day before we went somewhere. Oh my. Look at that drop off. None of those stinking guardrails to clutter up your view. Around each corner just gets better and better. This is going to be great to see. The first thing you come to is the Park Avenue Trail. Once I saw the first part of the trail was a lot of steps, which my bad knee wasn't ready for yet. We decided to move on and check it out later. We pulled over at the courthouse towers. The morning light was beautiful on the hills around us. As we drove by the towers, I noticed a couple of climbers up on the front side. This area is called the Petrified Dunes. Next stop, Balance Rock. I think the name says it all. These arches are called the north and south windows. We also saw the turret arch. As you can see, the trails up around these windows is quite easy to walk on. We had hoped on the first day to be able to see the first half of the park, but it became really hot really quickly, and all of the other areas, the parking lots were completely full, so we headed out for lunch. It was just as majestic viewing the rock pinnacles and the area known as the Great Wall on the trip back, though. Hey, look, no line when it gets up into the 80s. Lunch at Zach's was fabulous. Just as you enter town, there's a touring company where we booked a dinner cruise down the Colorado River. We truly enjoyed the dinner and the boat ride. It started off around sunset and ended up in the dark of night. Our guide told stories of the settlers that came here and the Indians that lived here. As soon as it got dark, they started lighting up the canyon walls and turned on some really haunting music and told Indian stories. It was really neat. A couple of times they turned off the lights and we just quietly floated down the river. After I told myself we wouldn't crash into the rocks, they do this nightly, right? Then I enjoyed it. The next day we headed to Delicate Arch. We did that first thing in the morning because it was going to get into the 80s. That's going to be hot. This hike was way harder than I thought it would be. We stood at the bottom of the hill watching people with small children going up the hill, and so we thought, how hard could it be? Let's just say with my bum knees and the altitude and the straight up the hill hike, I can say I did it, but I wouldn't do it again. Here we are only about a mile up the hill, and can you see that little area up there? That's the parking lot. That's how far we've come so far. Hours later, hot and tired, we made it. We didn't get to do the famous camera pose underneath the arch because there was a very long line of people waiting to do just that. So we took a picture from where we sat, and then we headed back down. We took a few short videos of us walking down the side of the hill, and look, none of those pesky guardrails to keep you from falling down the cliff. It really was a beautiful arch to see and a beautiful view from up there. But look at how much farther we've got to go to get to that parking lot. Oh my. Okay, now we're off to see Skyline Arch and a few of the other arches. It's also very hot out at the moment and the middle of the day. So unfortunately, there was a lot of people there and the parking lots were already full. So we did take some pictures from the road, and we'll be back again someday to see the rest of them. Well, we realized 2 days is just not enough time to see everything. We want to see Canyonlands as well, so off we go. We just drove around Canyonlands and got out at some of the viewpoints and took some pictures. We're definitely going to have to come back to this area also and go down some of the trails and check it out.